first, let's speak to John Martin from the Road Haulage Association and also the Ulster Farmers Union President, Victor Chestnut. Morning to both of you.
Good morning.
I mean, first of all, John, has it caused significant difficulties or have you been finding ways around this?
Yes, I would say some of the hauliers have found a ways around the issue, but latest feedback from the sector yesterday evening was that they're running roughly 50% behind schedule. There's roughly two boatloads of vehicles sitting in Cairnryan at this moment in time, so they're running only at 50% capacity. I have heard the Transport Secretary saying that they're putting on an additional ferry. There's one additional ferry coming on for the first sailing at 1:30 on Wednesday morning. This is only one ferry that'll be doing 2 sailings per day, whereas previously P&O had 4 sailings per day, so it'll only be 50% of what we need for this essential service.
So what do you think the impact of that will be? Because we've seen the papers have pictures of some empty shelves. We've seen Marks and Spencer say that they have got concerns, but that they'll deal with them in the next few days. But are you suggesting that there could be holds-ups here?
Oh, yes, as far as we're concerned, there will be empty shelves. This will have an impact on the movement of goods. If you're losing 50% of that particular route, obviously it'll have impact both on the supermarkets and on the traders. But this is something that the government should have been aware of. We would ask where the Department of Infrastructure was in relation to making contingency plans. This is a ferry service that was losing millions per year. It is a very vulnerable route. We've highlighted our concerns as a consequence of the protocol. So the government should have had provisions in place to address this type of issue.
In that case, there is a question about what happens with this route in the future, because I don't know if you heard some of the politicians on last week, but they certainly were reluctant to subsidise this route given what's happened with P&O, certainly not giving money to P&O. Do you think in the longer term we are going to have to look at something like that?
Oh, well, certainly the sector's concern is that whenever P&O, if they get up and running again and to provide a service, that they will increase their rates. Now, if they increase the rates, that will have a significant impact on anybody using that particular service, and ultimately then that has to be paid for by the consumer. We've already seen significant increases in the cost of goods coming from GB to Northern Ireland as a consequence of general inflation and as a consequence of the protocol. This is going to add to those costs, and that's bad for Northern Ireland PLC and bad for the consumer.